Okay, so in this problem, we're going to simplify three different square roots. So let's start with just a square root of a number. What we want to do is we want to write 40 as the product of two numbers such that one of the numbers is a perfect square root. Well, 40 is 4 times 10. The square root of 4 is 2. 4 is a perfect square root. Yeah? So this just is equal to, just to do this first one step by step, this is equal to the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. The square root of 4 is 2, so this is equal to 2 times the square root of 10. So the square root of 40 in simplified form is 2 times the square root of 10. Let's say we want to simplify this. All right, first step is with the number like we just said. Let's write that as 4 times 2. 4 is good because 4 is a perfect square root. For square roots, for any even exponent, just leave it the way it is. Leave it as x squared. But for your odd exponents, factor out 1y. In other words, write this as y to the 4 times y to the 1. Remember our rules of exponents. We add the exponents. That's the same as y to the 5th. Now what do? Well, this is equal to the square root of 4 times the square root of 2 times the square root of x squared times the square root of y to the 4 times the square root of y. I'll just write that all out. All right, now, so we understand, remember the square root of x squared, the square root is the same as the half power, right? We did that in an earlier video. Back to our rules of exponents, what do we do here? The rule is we multiply a half times 2. When we multiply by a half, that's the same as dividing by 2. So when I divide 2 by 2, I get x to the 1. Same here. So this is really x to the 4th to the half power. And when you multiply, you're just dividing the exponents by 2. That's why the odd exponent, we want to factor 1 out. So that when we divide by 2, we get a nice whole number. So the square root of 4 is 2. Let me just cross that out because it's taken care of. 2 divided by 2 is x to the 1, or x. 4 divided by 2 is y to the 2. And these are not, we can't really take the square root of those, so they both go under the square root, 2 and y. That is the simplified form of this. All right, let's do one last example. Let me just move this up. The square root of 16, x to the 9, y to the 12. Well, 16 is the square root of 16 is 4. It's a perfect square root. This is an odd exponent, so factor out 1x. This is an even exponent, so leave it the way it is. Then we just do what we just did. The square root of 16, let me cross it out because I took care of it. The square root of 16 is 4. Here we divide by a half, or divide by 2, because of what I explained over here. 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. 12 divided by 2 gives us y to the 6. And then what's left under the square root is an x. So this is the simplified form of this.